Thank you very much, Emilia. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from Kuala Lumpur. I'm back to Kuala Lumpur to be with my family for the Eid celebration. So I'm still working from home. It's not on holiday yet. That's why I'm now. It's around 10:15 at night in Kuala Lumpur. Yes, as you said, Emilia, 4 months ago, the city of Wuhan was about to declare a health emergency. And since then, the world has changed. The pandemic has affected everybody, but unequally. Many are even more marginalized now, with the World Bank estimating that 60 million people will fall into extreme poverty. The response measures create physical, attitudinal, environmental, and institutional barriers. Marginalized communities suffer. Persons with disabilities and older persons face obstacles and discrimination in accessing healthcare and other essential services. They face social protection challenges and income insecurity and miss out mental health services. So digital communication while staying at home is difficult for those with poor hearing or sight or other challenges. UN Habitats, as you said, voice and action for inclusion and against inequality are, of course, at the heart of our mission and also in the midst of this pandemic. So in the successive learning session that we had since 25th March, Emilia, together with UCLG and Metropolis, and so many close partners, inclusion has been a key benchmark to measure successful action of cities and local governments facing the impact of health crisis and the lockdown responses. For instance, I recall our first session on adequate housing and its strong message on homelessness. Countless homeless people are extremely vulnerable people with underlying health problems and problem of social exclusion. Those who have with us in the learning session weeks after week have heard the testimony of cities responding to issues of inclusion and injustice in the context of migration, local economics development, informality, to recall a few of many challenges. Cities are at the front line of this crisis, and they would continue to be in the future when medium and long-term responses will be implemented. The loss of employment will tend to generate greater social polarization. The impacts will be larger but uneven in cities and regions, particularly in those where inequality patterns already existed. UN Habitat documented in the World Cities Report in 2015 that 70% of the cities in the world were growing more unequal, even now more, even in societies that were considered more egalitarian. So in 2015, the World Economic Forum considered that inequality was universal concern and one of the major threats to world stability. This pandemic will further exacerbate the urban divide. The intersection of poverty and equality will become more visible in cities, and disadvantages will concentrate in specific areas and neighborhoods. Policies and action are needed to avoid and reduce such impact, especially for the most vulnerable. UN Habitat therefore started preparing a special edition of the State of the World Cities Report, focused on the impact and solution beyond the COVID-19 outbreak. Dear friends, we will celebrate the Global Accessibility Day tomorrow, 21st May. We are putting the issue of accessibility front and center. I am grateful for the intense collaboration with UCLG, World Enable, International Development Banks, and member states, including our friends from Germany. Today's focus on inclusion accessibility should make our mission for inclusion more tangible. Older persons and persons with disabilities constitute a significant and increasing segment of urban population anywhere in the world. I call on all cities to participate in the Cities for All COVID-19 Inclusive and Accessible Cities Pilot Survey we are initiating together. Lack of disability and older person disaggregated data makes it difficult to carry out evidence-based analysis of the socioeconomic impacts of the COVID-19 crisis. Disability and older person disaggregated data in recovery and COVID-19 response must include data on barriers and improve accessibility. I also urge city managers to work closely with available disabled peoples and older person organization by giving them a seat at the table. This group will ensure that their perspective in the pandemic response are considered and provide ideas for more inclusion using their own expertise and experience. I call on city and regional leaders to ensure legislation and policies establish the necessary enabling environment to disability and older person inclusive pandemic response. In many countries, we need to be extra mindful about needs of the older women and girls with disabilities. Response programs and service needs to be accessible to and usable by person with disabilities and older person where they ensure universal design principles are followed. In conclusion, it is important for states, regional and local government to ensure more inclusive, accessible, agile system capable of responding pandemic and future disasters by reaching out to those furthest left behind. This will pave the way for inclusive cities and a better future for all. UN Habitat will always be with all of you. Thank you very much. Emilia, over to you.